This morning is 5 points. I have a 3-point English muffin, a 1 piece of Canadian bacon, 2 points of the, I didn't put that away, the thin cheese. There's 2 points for that. The leftover eggs from yesterday, which I still have some left over. Jesus, what was I thinking? So this whole thing is 5 points, and I'm going to have a cup of coffee. I cut this in half. This is a nice looking breakfast sandwich. Falling apart though, but that's why I put the cheese on top of the egg. Yeah, so I'm going to have this for breakfast. It's 5 points, and I'll see what it looks like. I got most of it out. I found an easier way to do it. I just put it in this real thin strainer and just poured it over it, and all the little fat pieces went right on in there. So, and plus then I used napkin, and I wiped around the edges and kind of laid a little bit on top and let it drip so you don't waste all your broth. And yeah, so a little bit left in here isn't going to hurt. This is 97% fat-free instead of 99.9. Alrighty, when I put some kind of soup together, I will be back. I'm not quite sure. I have to think about with my chicken broth. You see how I boiled it down, and it was way up here to water. I didn't want it to reduce so much, but it's good this way. it concentrates a little bit. I'm only going to make like, 2 or 3 servings, or 3 to 4 servings, because I don't want a big pot and have a big pot left over. Anyway, so I'm going to scrape all of this off, and what I usually do, where's the spoon I had? I just had, hang on a minute, cooking Izzy's eggs. Jeez. Alrighty, what I do is I usually scoop it all over to the side and get it, as much of it as you can. Now, that ain't working. But you just got to kind of work at it and dig it off. And then what I also do at the very end, I take a paper towel and it'll soak up the rest off the edges. You could probably do this now with a paper towel, but there's just so much of it that I like to get some of it off. So once I strain all of that off, I will have some nice chicken broth here with some chicken in it, and I'm going to make some kind of soup. I don't know what kind of soup yet, but I'm going to make some kind of soup. I have to work on it. Alrighty, I'll show you when I'm going to make a taco soup. And I kind of looked up a few recipes, so I'm just kind of going to do it on my own with what I have and what I know I like. That's usually how I do recipes anyway. But anyway, our meat is going to be chicken. And I decided, oh, this corn is so good. It's not even cooked. It is so sweet. Oh my God, I can't even stop eating it. Anyway, I am going to throw in, I cut off the cob of 2 ears. I'm going to throw that in there. I'm going to throw in a can of roasted fire diced tomatoes. And then I'm going to throw in a can of kidney beans and a can of cannelloni beans. But I'm just going to drain them. I'm not going to rinse them. And I'm going to do the same with the green chili. So let me get a strainer for that. Here's the cannelloni beans. I just put them in the strainer. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other 2. Added it all. Now I'm going to add 1 package of ranch dressing powder mix. I saw it in a few recipes and I thought, I'm going to give it a try. And I have some homemade taco seasoning here that I had left over from when I filled up my other ones for my trip. So I'm going to use this. And I'm not sure how many tablespoons. Let me, I'll get right back. 1 tablespoon. Now I'm going to add about another half. We can always add more. And then I'm going to sprinkle in the ranch mix. And let me get a spoon here. Let's see what we've got. Okay, and we're going to mix it all up. I have it on high right now because I want to get it kind of to a boil. Ooh, it looks good. It looks like it's going to be something good. And I'm going to add some salt and a little bit of pepper. Okay. The ranch dressing powder mix will dissolve as it warms up. Let me just taste the broth a little. Oh, that's delicious. But I am going to add some more of this. So probably 2 tablespoons for the amount that I have here. Seems like it's going to be good. This whole soup here is 0. Everything in it is 0 points. And I think I'm going to have this for lunch. And I may have a grilled cheese sandwich or like a quesadilla on one of those wraps with the, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not hungry right now. I'm going to start my sauce for my eggplant rollatinis. I have a new way I'm going to try it. I didn't like the way it came out when I made it way back. So, yep. I will be back to show you when I have some soup or when I have lunch. And I'm going to work on my sauce. And I'll be back with you. I put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil on the bottom of the pan. Enough to cover it. I minced 3 cloves of garlic. I have a half an onion in there now. I think I'm going to add just a whole onion. And adding in some pepper here. Okay. And turn that down low because we just want those to get translucent. And I'll tell you what, when these things start cooking, oh my God. Alright, I'm going to get my tomatoes and the garlic are all getting translucent. And they're cooking away in that luscious olive oil. This is extra virgin. And you don't want your heat up high when you're cooking with extra virgin. So, alrighty, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in 3 cans. I got 2 fire roasted and 1 regular of the Hunt Spice tomatoes. Nothing in it, just the tomatoes. I love these. I buy these. They're like a staple in my house. And they are so good. Okay. Now, what I do, this is another little tip I have for you. I smush it with a potato masher. And because I like the pieces of the tomato, you know, in my spaghetti sauce. I like it the other way too. But this I really like the best. Alrighty, now we got some leftover pizza sauce. And I'm going to throw it in here because I know I'm not going to have any more pizza right now. And my husband's not here for lunch. So instead of wasting it or refreezing it, which I do not like to do for the second time, I am going to just dump it in here. Before I add my seasoning, now I'm just going to kind of mix it in. Mash this all up a little. I may add some pasta water when I make... Oh, I'm not making pasta. I'm doing it with eggplant. Yep, so I might have to add a little water when I get ready to start simmering it because it'll simmer down a little. Alrighty, now I'm going to put in... This is some spaghetti sauce seasoning I made because I like to go on camping trips. And if you're interested in any of my camping trips, you can check out my other channel. It's called Free Spirit Van Dweller. I'll put the name right here. I did put a link on the very first video that I did for this channel. But I don't know if it's working or not because some people said it was, some people said it wasn't. So it's under Free Spirit Van Dweller, if you care to follow. But that's why I made a bunch of different kinds of seasoning. So I'm just going to use this instead of getting all the containers out. Alrighty, let's see. We're going to put in... I'm going to start off with a taste first. Let's see here. It's all mixed in. Oh yeah. A couple teaspoons. For right now, because let it cook a little. I think it's going to be just fine. Doesn't really need any salt either, because there is salt in the seasoning. Alrighty. This is going to have to simmer for most of the day. I'm going to add a little bit. My grandmother used to take all her cans, put a little water in, and switch it over to the next can, and then you do that with the other can. And you swish it. I think I need a little bit more water though, because this will be simmering. And I noticed in here is a big chunk of tomato, so let's make sure we get that. I'm sorry about this thing waving all over the place. I got to figure out a way to set this up. Alrighty, so we're going to let that simmer for a few hours with the lid. And then I'm going to make my other stuff. So I'm going to have this on low, the soup's on low, and I think I'm going to go take a dip in the pool before our afternoon thunderstorms show up. This has got to cook. I do have to get my eggplant together, but I will do that when I get back in. I'm just going to put this in here for the lid right now. I don't know, I can't find any of my lids. See, I'm short, and my lids are way up there. And I'm not stretching to kill myself to get them, so this is what I do. Okay, everything's on. Alrighty, I'm going to get my bathing suit on and go for a swim. I'll see you back in the kitchen in about an hour. No, probably a couple hours. No, probably about an hour. The eggplant rolatinis, but I wanted to show you. I've already been swimming, and look how nice that looks. Doesn't that look delicious? Nice sauce. A nice chunky tomato sauce. And here is the soup. I'm going to have some of that as soon as I put these rolatinis together. Alrighty. Now, what I do is I take an eggplant. I'm just using one, and I peel my eggplant. I like my eggplant peeled. You can do the same thing, make eggplant parmesan, whatever. You just don't have the skin on. I find I like the taste better. Sometimes the skin can be tough, and then when you eat it, you know, I just take it off. And to me, it's a little bitter. So that's just something I do. So what I'm going to do is peel this, and I'm going to slice it long ways, as thin as I can get it. I have them sliced, and I'm going to stick them on a tray like this that can hold water, because we're going to soak these in some water. And we're going to salt them down. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. Alrighty. Now, you want to be kind of heavy-handed with the salt, because we're going to rinse these, so it's not like it's going to stay on there. But we want to draw out as much moisture as we can, because we want the moisture out. And what I do is I let these sit like this for about 15-20 minutes, and they'll start seeping. And then I'm going to add some water, and I'm going to flip them around and let them kind of, because it also helps with the bitterness. And then we're going to do a big rinse, and then we're going to do a big dry. And then we're going to roll these out a little bit, so to get as much of the moisture out, and to even make them a little bit more thinner and pliable. Actually, after that, I will be putting them in the oven for, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I don't want to confuse you. But right now, this is the next step. Okay. Sometimes it takes a little bit to prepare this, but it's very well worth it. I love eggplant, and I love it like this. Alrighty, so we're going to let that sit for about 15-20 minutes. 25 Smartpoints worth of the ricotta cheese in here, which is like 10 servings. There's 15 servings in here, and I put 10 of them in here, and it comes to 25 Smartpoints. All this mixture is not going to be used on that one dish, so but I have to break it down this way. So the next thing is 5 Smartpoints for a 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese. I have in 1.5 cups of the shredded fat-free cheese, And I have 4 ounces, which is 10 points of mozzarella. Finely chopped up, you know, coarsely chopped up, however you want to say it, and some minced garlic. And I got about 4 or 5 cloves there. And I'm going to put all that right into the bowl. I'm going to put in less than a 1/4 cup of parsley. I prefer dry parsley over real parsley. I don't like, or not real, but fresh, I guess. I don't like the way fresh parsley tastes. I've tried. I can't get used to it. When it's in stuff, I prefer the dry. So that's what I'm using, but you're more than welcome to use fresh. And then we're going to add some pepper. And I'm going to add some of this granulated garlic. Yes, we do like garlic. A little more salt for luck. And then I'm going to put an egg in it. And mix it. It's almost mixed all the way, but before it's all the way mixed up, I'm going to add some egg white to it. Not a lot. Not a lot. That's about it right there. Maybe a 1/4 of a cup. It does help with the binding. So I'm going to give this a good start. Divide it up in half, because I'm going to use half for this recipe and half for something else. And it comes to 21.5 for just half the mixture. Now over here we have, see how it's all weeping? It's all weepy wet. So now we're going to give it, fill it up with water. I'm going to put some water in here. I don't know if I can do it. There it goes. And I'm just going to let it sit in the water for a little bit. Probably flip them all over too. There we go. Fill it up. And then this, I'm going to let this sit for a little bit. Probably going to have to put another pan on top of it and put something heavy because they do float. But I want to make sure I get enough water in here. Okay. Well, I guess they'll be alright because we can turn them over. This one here might have to be cut some more. Just let them kind of leap into the water. I'm going to leave that like that for a little bit. My taco soup. I'm in the middle of cooking all of this, and I didn't realize it's 2:45. So, I need to eat something. That's why I'm feeling a little woozy. So I'm going to sip on this and eat this while I'm cooking. And then as soon as it's ready to put in the oven, I'm going to put it in the oven and we're going to have dinner. Which is just as well because this is going to be a high point dinner. But low fat, and it's going to be good for you, majority of it. But, yeah, so I'll be back. This is what I'm having for lunch. It's 0 point. I have rinsed them all really well, and I have a clean bath towel here, and I'm going to lay them on the clean bath towel. Let's see here. I need to catch nothing on fire. This is a small kitchen. I hope the place I rent has a big kitchen. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, that's all of them. What I'm going to do here, that's just a piece because I cut some off, but sometimes you need a little filler. I'm going to cut a little off of that too. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, now we're going to do this. Okay, like that. And you roll it. I'm going to have to figure out how to set this camera up so I can do things but I can't with this video right now because it is getting late and I am getting hungry. So I'm trying to get through this. So I'm going to roll, and I'm going to show you. They've been rolled and pretty much got a lot of the moisture out of them. And then what I do is I put a, where's my, I'm going to put a light sprinkle of salt. Because now we're going to put these in an oven for a little bit, just so that they can get a little bit pliable. And then we're going to put some pepper. You know, you don't want a lot, but you like to keep your food seasoned. And you know, especially if you're doing layers. Alright, now what we're going to do, I have a pan that is heavily sprayed. And we're going to try to get all of these on here. because we're going to bake these in the oven on a 350-degree oven. You want them so that when you get ready to roll them, they won't break. They'll be a little bit more pliable than what they are right now. It's not going to take long. Maybe if your oven's preheated, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes perhaps, somewhere around there. I meant to flip these over so I can put salt and pepper on the other side. Alrighty, we'll just flip them over. Flip them, flip them, flip them. Alrighty. Okay. Now we're just going to do a little bit, just a light dusting. Because all that salt, most of it's out, you know. So there we go. And I'm going to place it in my 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes. And I put some sauce into my dish. I'm taking one of the eggplants that was in the oven. I let it cool off. I let the sauce cool off in here and all of that. And then right here, need to get a spoon. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of the filling, and I'm just going to kind of dab it on there, like so. And I have toothpicks, and we're going to take it, and we're going to roll it, just like this. Now, I always have some come out. Put a couple toothpicks there, and that's okay. This way I know they're full. And sometimes what you can actually do is stick it right back in there like that, because the egg does help a little bit, but I don't like to put too much egg in it. See? And there you go. And then I put them in, you can put them in long ways, or you can put them in this way. I think I'm going to put them in this way tonight. And that's what we're going to do. So we'll do another one. Now, I'm going to take some more sauce here, and I'm just going to put it on top. Just kind of pour it on top a little. Give them a cover. You don't want a lot, but you don't want them to be dry either. So make sure that they're adequately covered. Yeah. A little bit more right in here. There. Tad right there. Okay. There you go. Now, since we're making this point friendly, at this point right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This point, they are 2.75 a piece. So I am going to spray, or not spray, what's the word? Sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top. Let's see. Just a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to take, go dead. So I'm getting, my battery's getting ready to go dead, so I'm going to hurry up. A couple handfuls, little handfuls of the fat-free cheese. And I'm covered up, bake it in the oven at 375, maybe 350. Probably 350 because it's not cold. And until it's nice and bubbly and good. There it is, complete. It's all ready. It's 3 points for 2. And I'm going to let it cool off. I just took it out of the oven. And then I'm having a salad. I chopped up some lettuce. I put some tomatoes. That other piece of corn I had left, I shaved it off and stuck some in there. I had some leftover beets, and I used that as dressing. I have some feta cheese in here and some olives. So the feta cheese was 1 point, the olives was 1, and oh, the oil, that was in the beet juice, I counted as 1. So this whole salad is 3 points, and 2 of those are going to be 6. So it's going to be a dinner, will be a total of 9 points. And when that cools off enough, I will dish it up and I will show you. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. Alrighty. I have 6 points worth of this and 3 points worth of that, and this is dinner. I'm going to go eat, and I will talk to you all soon.